A woman walks into a bakery in 1923 Berlin with a basket full of cash. By the time she reaches the counter, the price of bread has doubled. She runs home, grabs more money, comes back. Now it's tripled. This isn't dystopian fiction. This was everyday life in the Weimar Republic, and it didn't happen slowly. It happened in months. Germany didn't wake up one day and decide to destroy its currency. The collapse was the logical end of a system that looked manageable, and if you think that kind of monetary chaos belongs to history books, think again. In 1914, before World War I, $1 bought about 4.2 German marks. The currency was stable, predictable. Then came the war. Instead of raising taxes to pay for it, Germany borrowed heavily. The plan was simple: win the war, demand reparations, pay the debt later. They lost. In 1919, the Treaty of Versailles handed Germany a bill so large it felt fictional: 132 billion gold marks. The government had three options: raise taxes massively or print money. They chose the printing press. At first, nothing exploded. In fact, printing money can feel painless. The government pays its bills, workers get paid, life continues. The mark starts to weaken, but gradually. In 1919, $1 equals about 14 marks. By 1921, it's 75. Uncomfortable, but not apocalyptic. In 1923, when Germany falls behind on reparations, French and Belgian troops occupy the Ruhr, Germany's industrial heartland: coal, steel, factories. The German government tells workers to strike in protest. Passive resistance, they call it. But here's the catch: striking workers still need salaries, so the government prints more money to pay them for not producing anything. Output falls, money supply explodes. That's when the math turns violent. In January 1923, $1 equals 18,000 marks. By July, it's 350,000. By November, it's 4.2 trillion. Trillion. Prices didn't just rise, they sprinted. A loaf of bread that cost 250 marks in January cost 200 billion by November. Children built towers with banknotes. Restaurants stopped printing menus because prices changed between courses. Workers were paid twice a day so they could spend their wages before they became worthless by evening. Savings? Gone. If you had money in the bank, wiped out. If you lived on a fixed pension, destroyed. But if you owed money, you won. Debtors became free. The middle class became poor overnight. Wealth didn't vanish, it was transferred. And here's the hidden mechanism most people miss. Hyperinflation isn't just too much money, it's a collapse of trust. Money only works because we believe someone else will accept it tomorrow. In 1923 Germany, that belief snapped. Once people expect prices to rise, they rush to spend. Spending faster pushes prices higher. Higher prices confirm the fear. It becomes a psychological chain reaction. The printing press didn't just create inflation, it created panic about inflation. By late 1923, the mark wasn't really money anymore. It was paper, moving too slowly. Finally, the government did something radical. They stopped. They introduced a new currency, the Rentenmark, backed not on gold, Germany had none left, but on mortgages on land and industrial assets. And more importantly, they limited how much of it could exist, strictly. Confidence slowly returned, prices stabilized almost overnight, which raises an uncomfortable question. If stabilization was possible, why wait until everything burned down? Because stopping the printing earlier would have meant immediate pain, higher taxes, spending cuts, mass unemployment, politically toxic choices. Inflation, at first, feels easier. Today, no major economy is printing money at 1923 levels, but the underlying tension still exists everywhere. Governments borrow heavily, central banks create money, and citizens trust that stability will hold. The story of 1923 isn't just about wheelbarrows of cash. It's about what happens when a society discovers that its money, the thing measuring value, savings, time itself, can evaporate. So here's the real question. If trust is the only thing holding modern money together, how much of it do we actually have?